We'll start with dry roasting some spices. 1 black cardamom, 3 green cardamom, 2 small pieces of cinnamon, 5 cloves, 10 peppercorns. This step is done to release the aromatic oils of all the spices. Standing near the flame, one can actually inhale the aromas. And when this is nice and aromatic and dry, we just take it out and keep it aside. In the same kadai, I'll add about a tablespoonful of avocado oil. These thinly sliced onions, which will go into the kadai. I have turned the flame to medium and I'm further cooking this. This is the level of caramelization I like to go to. The kadai is browning a little bit at the bottom, and at this stage I like to add in the chicken wings, washed. I like to use chicken wings with bone. You can use boneless chicken, drumsticks, the whole chicken, just what you like in this recipe. At this point, I will again increase the flame to gas mark 8 so that we can seal in the juices of the chicken, stirring it quickly, searing it so that the skin is seared and the juices inside remain intact. This is on a high flame. As soon as the chicken goes in, it starts leaving some moisture. Needs to be stirred at this point so that all the sides get sealed. As you can see, all the sides of the chicken have changed color in all the pieces. At this point, I once again reduce the flame to gas mark 4 and let this cook on a low flame. As you can see, the chicken has started leaving out more water and cooking gently on a low flame. I will cook this until the water dries. We want these chicken pieces to be browned nicely. Moving the flame back to medium. I like to add a little salt at this stage so that the chicken can also absorb some salt. This is not the entire quantity of the salt, just a little bit of it. The water has started to dry out and the chicken is leaving its fat. The fat is being drained. We'll cook it for some more time until the pieces are browned, evenly browned. Since this chicken has, the wings have the skin on them, they release a lot of fat. If you want to have a low fat version, go for the pieces or the cuts without the skin. That way the fat is much lower. Few more minutes and they'll be uniformly browned on all the sides. In order to drain out some of the fat, I like to pile up all the pieces against one side and let the fat drain out to the other side. This can be aided by tilting the kadai a little bit. As you can see, the fat is separating out. I just dab it all up on a paper towel. Now, this is the stage to add all the dry spices. 2 heaped teaspoons of dhania powder, half a teaspoon of red chili powder. This is not the Kashmiri red chili powder. This is the spicy one. 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder. Half a teaspoon of garam masala. 1 teaspoon of jeera powder. To enhance the flavor, I like to add kitchen king. I prefer the MDH kitchen king. Once again, reduce the flame to lowest setting. A heaped teaspoon and a half of kitchen king. Let us mix this all well. Leave it for a minute or two until all the spices are well assimilated and cooked. Once the tomatoes are added, the spices no longer release their aroma, so we have to cook them before adding the tomatoes. Here I will add in more salt according to the chicken. Now salt is totally according to your taste. So I like the biryani or the pulao to be a little on the more salty side, so I add a little more. Adding the salt at this stage makes it mix well with the chicken as well. Now here all the spices have been cooked. They've released their aroma well. It's been about 3 minutes. The chicken was browned, and we add all the masalas only after the chicken is browned so that we can make out the color. If we add the masalas first, we will not be able to see the color of the chicken. Here I have ground together 300 gram tomatoes, 30 grams of garlic, 10 grams of ginger, and 1 green chili. At this stage, I will pour this over the chicken. Mix it well, and we can use the moisture from the tomatoes to remove all the caramelization on the side of the pan or kadai. Here we leave this to cook, uncovered yet, at gas mark 4. Try to scrape off the caramelization off the side. This aids in the flavoring. It's not a burnt thing, it's just caramelized, so it enhances the flavor. In order to aid cooking and prevent splattering, I will cover the kadai partially. As you see, it is almost dried now. At this stage, I will cover it completely. In case we want to have chicken curry or a masala chicken, I will let it stay covered and I will cook it until the chicken is bone tender. It should kind of fall off the bone. For masala chicken, at that stage, I will add a teaspoonful of heavy cream and half a cup of water and mix it and serve it with hot rotis or naan. If it is chicken curry, then I will add some extra water, let it cook in that water and serve it with rice on the side. But since today we are making a chicken pulao, I will just let this simmer for some more time and I'll wait for the oil to separate. The gas is marked at 2. Yes, as you can see, the oil is separating on the side. Now, since I am going to be making a chicken pulao, I will be double the amount of water of the rice that I'm going to make. I am making 2 cups of rice, so I will add 4 cups of water to this. I'm increasing the heat to gas mark 4 now. Most of the oil has separated now and this is dry. This is the water I have from rinsing the mixer jar or KitchenAid. that I used. Mix it well, raise the flame to high and set the water to boil. You can check the salt at this stage. It should have enough to be good for the rice as well as the chicken. In my case, the salt is pretty low, so mix the salt well. Let this come to a boil. The chicken is not fully cooked because now it will cook with the rice. If I was making masala chicken or chicken curry, I would cook the chicken well. I'll cover it, make it boil faster. The water is boiling. I'll add in the washed and drained rice. Now partially covered, and we wait for the water to boil. The flame is on high. The water is boiling. I will still leave the lid partially covered and reduce the flame to gas mark 2, somewhere between 2 and 4. A very gentle stir at this stage. We shouldn't handle the rice too much or else they break. At this stage I will put in the spices I had roasted. Spread them out in the rice. Gently mix them in. Now I will cover it completely. Set the gas mark to the lowest. When there is no water at the base, I shall turn the flame off and leave it covered on the hot stove for 10 minutes. After that, it's ready to serve and enjoy.